This is the third talk of our OCA retreat, beginning the race. So we begin with some quotes from St. Paul. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord the righteous judge will award to me on that day, not only to me, but also to all who have loved his appearing. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1 through 7. Do you not know that in a race all the runners compete, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable. Well, I do not run aimlessly. I do not box as one beating the air, but I pummel my body and subdue it, lest after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. 1 Corinthians chapter 9. In some ways, the conclusion of the Easter Vigil is the conclusion of a long process. For some of you, you've been thinking about becoming Catholic for years. Regardless, you've been in this process with us for at least 6 months now. You've put in a lot of work. You've come faithfully to classes on Monday nights. You've prayed, you've studied, you've learned. So that process culminates on the Easter Vigil, where you'll finally get your sacraments and be Catholic. But remember, the Easter Vigil isn't the finish line. It's actually the beginning. So that's what I want to talk with you about now, about moving forward after the Easter Vigil. So first, if the Easter Vigil, if getting your sacraments is your start line, what's the finish line? Well, it's heaven. Heaven's what you're racing for. Between the Easter Vigil and the rest of your life is the race for heaven. That from here on out is your primary goal in life. Never lose sight of it. Now, remember, just as if you were running a race, you have to persevere in the event. Let's say for a moment you're running the New York City Marathon. You can put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears along that route. But if you hop the subway to get to the finish line, if at any point you leave the course, you don't get back on, you don't get the credit, you don't get the prize. The same is true for the Catholic faith, this journey to heaven. You've put in a lot of work so far, but remember, you have to keep going for the rest of your life. Some days that's going to be smooth, easy, and a joy. Some days it's going to be hard. Keep going. Eye on the prize. Don't give up. Now, what's the event you're running? Well, it's faith, hope, and charity. For the rest of your life, hold to the faith. Believe the teachings of Jesus Christ and the teachings of his church. Hope. Never lose sight of heaven. Remember, there's always a way to get there, no matter what life throws at you. And charity. Burn with an intense love of God and a love of neighbor that makes you want to do good for God and good for others. Again, sometimes it's easier than others. But that's the kind of life that we are signing up for. Now, of course, there are some practical details that come with this. You got to keep going to Mass every Sunday. Make sure you go. Make confession a regular part of your life. Once a month is great. Don't fall below once a year, because that's against one of the precepts, but regularly, regular part of your routine. Make sure every day you find some time to pray. Doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't even have to be long. Make sure you pray somehow every day. Okay. What does the course look like? We don't know. You don't know what the course looks like up ahead from the Easter Vigil to the day that you will stand face to face with God at the pearly gates. You don't know. This could be a sprint. Okay? You could be inflamed like just this with this fiery faith and live a life of intense holiness and charity and be done in a couple years. Who knows? Or this could be a marathon for you. You could have many, many years to go. Then you have to keep up the stamina and keep up the endurance. Whatever the course God presents you with, the ups and downs of life, the length, all of it, will give you the strength to run it. Just keep persevering. Now, what obstacles are you likely to encounter as you try to live the faith? What are the heartbreak hills that you could run into going forward? Well, one is getting tired. Right now, it's all still new, and that makes it really exciting. But there will come a time where it's not new anymore, and it's still important. Even when prayer doesn't stir your heart, you still got to do it. Even when Mass seems like same old, same old, same old, you still got to do it. Okay? There's a process we go through as we settle into the practice of our faith, of realizing that we still have to do the same stuff even when it's not new, even when it's not novel. Okay? Second, concupiscence. The battle with ourselves is going to continue throughout the rest of our lives. If we want to live according to Christ's teachings, keep the faith, keep running this event, we got to be relative. We have to be willing to tell ourselves no over and over and over again. Okay? No to sin, no to inordinate desires, no to anything that's going to lead us away from God. Now, just like with running a real race, okay, you get better over time. When you're first learning to run, it's hard to tell your body that you have to keep running even when your body says, this hurts and I don't like it. But the more you do that, the more you push through that, the easier it gets, the more you grow in discipline. And the same thing is going to be true of living the Catholic faith. The more you keep showing up, you keep choosing good, refusing evil, you keep keeping your commitments, keeping the faith, the easier it gets. But you have to keep at it. Maintain your discipline. Keep saying yes to God and no to anything that's not of God. Next, opposition from the world. You're going to have to hold the faith in a world of naysayers. It's just part of our current reality. It always was a factor. It's more of a factor in our current situation. Again, right now, it's new, you're zealous, and my suspicion is that there have been sacrifices, I'm no doubt. I don't think you guys have hesitated about this. But you're going to have to keep it up over the long run. Be ready to live for Christ, even when the world punishes you for it. Whether that's because you find yourself the odd man out, because people want to argue with you about it, because they tell you that you could be living a better life some way else. It's hard. It's going to be hard one way or the other. Reserve your heart for Christ alone. Reserve your ears for Him alone. And know that He sees everything you suffer all along the way. He'll more than compensate you for it. Lastly, the devil's going to try to trip you up. You've probably already experienced some of that. I'm going to warn you here. It is a classic thing. Can be a classic thing with the Easter Vigil. People get nervous the day or two before. Things can be going great the whole OCIA process, and then the day before the Easter Vigil, panic. This is just the devil trying to trip you up. Okay? He doesn't want you to persevere to heaven, and he doesn't want you to bring others with you. So be aware. There are going to be subtle suggestions that are going to come across your mind that are carefully tuned to try and pull you away. Don't listen to them. Okay? Be on your guard against them. You'll learn the devil's tricks after a while. He tends not to reinvent the wheel. But be determined. Hold to the faith, hold to Christ, hold to his commandments, no matter what. Now, we've been comparing this to a race, and for a race, you train. So, in the spiritual life, how do you train? Well, first, target the areas you know where you are weak. Okay? All of you, I'm sure, have already discovered there's some things you find you are naturally suited to and come easily to you. Maybe it's charity. You find it really easy to do good to other people. Maybe it's prayer. Maybe you find it easy to spend lots of time with our Lord. My suspicion, though, is there are things you know are struggles. And where you find those things, lean into them. Okay? If you want to be a really good athlete, it doesn't help just to strengthen your strengths. If you want to be a good athlete, target the things you find hard. So, same thing here. If you know prayer is a struggle for you, focus on that. Okay? Make a point to spend 10 minutes daily doing some kind of prayer. If you know patience is a struggle for you, okay, lean into that. There are some practices we can do. So, for instance, um, if you get pulled around by desire for pleasure, if you can't say no to yourself, fasting, lean into it. It helps. Okay, so anyway, know yourself. Target the areas where you know you're weak. Um, Keep learning. So, read the Bible. Always a good thing to do. The Catechism. Pick up books on lives of the saints. Just keep going deeper. There's so much more to know. You don't have to know it all. You'll never know it all. But it's good to keep learning a little more, a little more, a little more. Keep in touch with us. If ever there's a question that comes up or something you want to know more about, we're very happy to help. And also keep close to Catholic friends who are trying to do the same thing as you are. It's hard when you feel like you're going it all alone. Sometimes you have to, but it gets so much easier when you're with other people going for the same goal. Speaking for myself, I've found this as I've tried to get back into swimming. Twice a week, I'm with a team. I can do 3,000 yards or more, up to 4,000 yards when I'm with my team. Everyone's going for the same goal, doing the same thing. I have such a hard time even breaking 2,000 when I'm on my own. Okay, so get introduced in the parish. Stay for coffee afterwards. Meet people. Get involved in things. Build friendships. Because those people are the ones who will help you through the ups and downs as you try to persevere in this life. Lastly, and most importantly, never forget what you are racing for. Sometimes we get caught up in the humdrum day to day and we just groan and think, I don't want to keep at this. Those are the times where you have to remember, keep your eye on the prize. What am I racing for? Heaven. Heaven's what I'm racing for. That prize is of infinite value, and nothing can ever justify abandoning the pursuit of that. So remember that. Keep yourself focused. It'll help you persevere. So for the next 30 minutes, you'll have the opportunity to meditate on heaven. The meditation is from St. Francis de Sales' Introduction to the Devout Life. So some tips on how this works. So first, you're going to take a quiet moment and place yourself in the presence of God. What that means is quiet your mind down and just remind yourself for a moment that God is everywhere, which means that He is present to you right now. He sees you, He hears you, and He wants to speak to you. If you're up in the church praying, then He's not only spiritually present to you, He's also physically present to you in the Blessed Sacrament. Just to take a moment to remember that. Then once you've done that, humble yourself before Him and ask His inspirations. So recognize that He is infinitely good, infinitely great. You were small before Him, and ask Him to enlighten and inspire you during this time of meditation. And then you're going to go through a series of points. I'm going to read them now to you. So first, you're going to imagine yourself alone with your good angel in an open plain, as was Tobit on his way to Rajes. Now, when it says imagine, I want you to literally imagine. Close your eyes. Imagine the plain. The grass, the flora, the fauna, the whole thing. And imagine your angel. Now, the next thing you're going to imagine your angel sets before you paradise full of delights and joys, and on the other hand, hell with all its torments. And what I want you to do is imagine literally on one side of the plain is heaven. Picture that kingdom. Picture the joys of that kingdom, the goodness of it. Okay. And on the other side, picture hell and all its ugliness, and all its misery, and all its darkness. Contemplate both, kneeling in imagination before your guardian angel. Consider that you are most truly standing between between hell and paradise, and that both the one and the other are open to receive you according to your own choice. Okay, so picturing this, just take a moment to take in the reality, I can walk to either one. Either is available to me. I can choose hell, I can choose heaven. I'm free. Sit with that for a moment, and then go to the next point. So the next point is consider that the choice you make in this life will last forever in the next. So just chew over a moment. I can pick either one. But whatever choice I make now is forever. So if I choose heaven, that choice is forever. I get to live there forever. If I choose hell, that choice is forever. Next point. Consider, too, that while both are open to receive you according to your choice, yet God, who is prepared to give the one by reason of His justice, the other by reason of His mercy, all the while desires unspeakably that you should select paradise. And your good angel is urging you with all his might to do so, offering you countless graces on God's part, countless helps to attain it. So you reflect a moment. God's willing to give me either. I have real freedom in this. In His justice, He is willing to grant me hell if I choose hell. In His mercy, He is willing to grant me heaven if I so choose it. But God is not indifferent. God wants me to choose heaven, and He's urging me on to it, and He's going to help me get there. And my angel, too, that I'm imagining myself kneeling in front of, he wants me to choose heaven. He cares about my choice. Okay. So you can even imagine what your angel is saying to you as he tries to urge you in your choice towards heaven. Number 4. Consider that Jesus Christ, enthroned in heaven, looks down upon you in loving invitation. So I want you to literally picture Jesus looking down on you on that plain from heaven. He says, O beloved one, come unto me, and joy forever in the eternal blessedness of my love. Now, keep picturing heaven on that other side of the plain. Behold His mother yearning over you with maternal tenderness. And she says to you, Courage, my child, do not despise the goodness of my Son, or my earnest prayers for thy salvation. Behold the saints who have left you their example, the millions of holy souls who long after you, desiring earnestly that you may one day be forever joined to them in their song of praise, urging upon you that the road to heaven is not so hard to find as the world would have you think. Press on boldly, dear friend, they cry. Whoso will ponder well the path by which we came hither, discover that we attain to these present delights by sweeter joys than any this world can give. So, at this point, you're picturing heaven. Jesus Christ comes out from heaven and addresses you, urges you to come. The Blessed Mother calls to you from heaven, urges you to come. Imagine all these varied saints, and you can even fill in particular ones if you like, speaking to you and addressing you, urging you to come join them. Okay. Having sat with that, now you make a choice. So Francis de Sales offers this prayer by which you elect to choose against hell and for heaven. So you'll say, O hell, I abhor thee now and forever. I abhor thy griefs and torments, thine endless misery, the unceasing blasphemies and maledictions which thou pourest out upon my God. And turning to thee, O blessed paradise, eternal glory, unfading happiness, I choose thee forever as my abode, thy glorious mansions, thy precious and abiding tabernacles. O my God, I bless thy mercy which gives me the power to choose. O Jesus Savior, I accept thine eternal love and praise thee for the promise thou hast given me of a place prepared for me in that blessed New Jerusalem, where I shall love and bless thee forever. Say this slowly and deliberately and mean it. Okay. Lastly, the final point. Dwell lovingly upon the examples set before you by the Blessed Virgin and the saints, and strive to follow where they point you. Give yourself up to your guardian angel that he may be your guide, and gird up your courage anew to make this choice. So you've heard the saints and angels call out to you to draw you to heaven. Consider they've already walked this road. Consider what that road looks like. Okay? And make a resolve to follow along the same one. Of great charity, of deep faith, of abounding hope. Okay? And then give yourself over to your guardian angel. Resolve to listen to his whispers and inspirations. And resolve with courage to make this choice and to hold to it. Finally, and with the glory be. Right, so that is your final assignment and meditation for this retreat. I believe you have 25 minutes for this. Well, hold on. We'll check the schedule. You have 50 minutes to meditate. So we'll be back after that. God bless.